Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Ooh, sorry. Okay. So, hope everybody's having a good start to your Wednesday. Well, it's noon here, so hopefully you've started your Wednesday. And for my East Coast people, your Wednesday's over halfway done. So, say hi when you hop on. Hi, Leslie. Hi, beautiful. I'm just going to invite some friends so they know that we're here. But if you're watching the replay, that is okay. I feel like I thought of this this morning, when I was talking to Alex, and I feel like that this is one of those moments where, honestly, God was really on my heart about what I texted her before, Alex. Hi, Nessie. God was really on my heart about this subject in particular, and I'll explain why. But I think that it's important that we address what's going on in the world right now, and check in with everybody, and how do we maneuver our businesses through all of this, right? Because this is such a weird time, and it's something that we have never experienced before, when it is paired with having a business and trying to maintain normalcy, but also it's not normal at all. So, I just thought of doing this morning, and the more that I thought about it, the more I got excited, because I think that it's important for you guys to know. The people who are close to me know this, and for the people who don't know me, are new here. I think it's important that we take every opportunity we can to be vulnerable with each other, because we call ourselves a family, and if I can't be vulnerable here, then that kind of messes with that term a little bit. So I appreciate y'all hopping on, and so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. If you watch the replay, you can let us know that you watched the replay. And so let me just start off by saying I recognize, for sure, Brandy, thank you. Because I do believe that. So I recognize that this is such a weird place that we're all in. And it's weird because we're all affected by COVID-19, but we're all in different places in how that's affected our lives directly, right? So for some of you, I know that you are working from home, and so you are no longer getting up, going about your normal routine, going to a job, getting in your car, driving to your job, doing your 9 to 5 or whatever that looks like, and then coming home, and maintaining your life at home. I know that kiddos are home from school, for most people, if not all people, and maybe your husbands, your spouses, your best friends, maybe there are people in your lives who have lost their jobs, have been temporarily laid off, and then there's some of you who are still getting up every day and going to work. And so hi Teresa, this all affects us so differently, right? So, but I'm pretty sure I can say with certainty that on some level, regardless of where you stand on that, this has affected you, and it's affected your day to day. And so now, in the midst of, balancing what looks like our everyday norm, right? Our routine. Now we're trying to figure out, how do I balance being at home all the time or still going to work, and being fearful that, you could catch this virus, and what the media is telling us and what the truth is, and how do we be there for our kids? How are we homeschooling our kids? How are we being the best parents we can be to them, while maintaining our own sanity? And I have to tell you guys, this has been a huge struggle for me. I feel like that I have a pretty good grasp on myself, I know why I do the things that I do. I'm pretty familiar with who I am as a person. And I know that I keep a very, very busy schedule, because being around people and staying busy truly keeps me sane. I know it sounds crazy. People are like, well, I like to relax so I can feel sane, and have some downtime. And I do love that too. But honestly, like doing all of the things in my life, from my life groups to my MOPS to my church to, Scentsy, doing all of those things help me to stay sane. I need to be around people. I need to feel like I'm having a bunch of things to do. And in less than 24 hours, all of that got canceled. All of that got ripped away from me. And my kids all of a sudden were home. And this has nothing to do with me not wanting my children home. I love my kids. But I think we can all agree that throws us into a whole other cycle of like guilt and, responsibility and this pressure to like, how are we supposed to be homeschooling our kids? Like, I didn't choose to homeschool my kids. And now here we are with a pile of homework, and we're supposed to be teaching them things and still cooking and cleaning and staying safe, but keeping them indoors and just all of the things that we're dealing with. Right. And, I'm sorry, my nose is still runny, and I really, really, every time I forget to bring a tissue in here. So we're still dealing with all of that. And, that's hard. And hard's not even the appropriate word, you guys. My kids' last day at school was, I think they told us, the 17th of March, and it was going to go till the 20th. And I ended up just keeping my kids home from school. And they said that our schools would be closed until April 20th at the bare minimum. So from Tuesday, March 17th to April 20th is when I know my entire life has basically been like shut down. And that's very dramatic to say, but if you could see my calendar, I have so much going on. And I've had to be like, oh, that's canceled. Oh, can't do that. And just slowly, my husband's birthday, it's kind of a disaster during the day because we couldn't do anything. By that time, by Saturday, the 21st, we literally, nothing was open. Nothing. And we couldn't go anywhere. We weren't supposed to be in a gathering of more than 10 people. And I struggled. And I'm not going to lie to you, I still struggle. Every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, what am I grateful for today? God, where are you in this? Like show me something that I can hang on to, but for today, like even just for today, but that first week and a half, well, I guess not week and a half, but that all of last week, I struggled. It was hard for me. And I cried every day. My husband didn't know how to, wasn't sure how to be there for me. And that's hard for him. And then with his birthday falling apart, it was hard to be there for him, because I didn't know how to be the wife that I needed to be to him when I was in the midst of what felt like, for the first time in my life, depression. Like literally did not want to get out of bed. And so I just want you guys to recognize that if you're feeling those things and your life is totally broken, first of all, you're not alone. Okay. And we all put on brave faces. And I think, more so for our children, because we want our children to know that it's not about them. 'Cause it's not. My kids being home is the least of my worries. But it's the brokenness in the midst of it, right? And it's the scary thing that we're dealing with outside of our walls, and knowing it's not safe to go outside, and the panic. And, you know, I didn't overbuy toilet paper, and, you know, I didn't do any of that. But when I wanted to go grocery shopping yesterday and I couldn't get chicken, or just grab another thing of toilet paper because we're on our last like 7 rolls, you know, so I just wanted to grab another one. Those aisles are empty. You know, I'm not affected by what the media is telling me, but I do get affected walking down the grocery store aisle, and not being able to find what I need. So for my family. So I just want you guys to know that your feelings of whatever they may be stemmed from, like I know Nessie misses her kids, and, you know, Juan is still recovering from his motorcycle accident, and not being able to be there for them physically is really difficult. And so we are all dealing with different struggles in the midst of all of this. And some of you may be struggling to pay bills, and that's really hard. That's really hard.
Well, I know you said I'll take it up, but it's raining, but it's making me go crazy right now.
Okay, turn on Poppy Bones on your Alexa.
Huh? I did.
Okay, turn it up then.
Turn it up?
A little bit. Okay, go lay down.
When Noah said, turn that down a little bit.
Okay, I'm telling you can turn it up a little bit. Go lay down. Close my door, please.
Well, if I can't sleep.
I'll come get you in a little bit. You don't have to sleep. You just have to be quiet, okay? It's just quiet time.
So I don't have to sleep?
No, just go lay down. Yeah. So, okay. I say all that to say, I understand. I personally get it. I get the struggle on a lot of different levels, and it's affecting my life. And my everyday has been shaken to its core, and it's not easy. And if you are struggling, first of all, you know that you're not alone now. And that's what we're all here for, is to be able to be the sounding board for that. This is not just a Scentsy family. This is a family for life if you need it, you know? So we're here, and the hard part, but the really great part about this is that it is affecting us all. So I knew that I could come on here and tell you guys about what I'm dealing with, and that each one of you would understand on some level. You would all get it somehow, right? Because it's all affecting us. So, thank you for letting me be honest about that. But I do want to move into, where does that leave us with our Scentsy? Because I know some of you may be feeling like, how do I even begin to think about selling Scentsy in the midst of the chaos going on? How do I even approach my customers who I know are struggling, or I'm feeling so like, ugh, how do I pretend to love my wax right now? 2 things. 1, it's okay to feel like that. It's not okay to dwell there. And what I mean by that is, for the first couple of days, I didn't come into my office. I didn't really want to do anything. I had pictures that I had taken before, and I posted them, and but I didn't even want to think about Scentsy. And what I had forgot, what I let the enemy make me believe, is that even though all these other things were being taken away from me, there were still things in my life that had not changed and that still bring me happiness. I just momentarily forgot because I was feeling emotional about the situation that was going on. And that's okay. It's okay to feel emotional, and it's okay to, in my eyes, I'm grieving the loss of these things that are happening or that aren't happening because of what's going on. So it's okay to do all of that. But if you've ever been so excited about a Scentsy box showing up at your door, or you know, you love following up with their customers because you love hearing about what they love about their order, or if making samples makes you happy, or you know, putting your label on stuff, or creating a new graphic, or doing grab bags, or whatever in the Scentsy business. If you can pinpoint any of those things that you can say, oh yeah, like I do really enjoy doing that, then let Scentsy be that place that has not changed and that can continue to be a place that makes you happy. And I just say, go back to that, because right now, yeah, we're approaching an end of the month, and I have to say that all of you, I can say with Scented Dreamers for sure, and talking to Alex, I know that True Life is the same. Y'all are doing great this month. We would have never known that COVID-19 came in like a freaking wrecking ball, okay? We would have never known that. Looking at our month's numbers, some of the best numbers. And some of you are having people join, and you're close to promotion, and like, I'm so proud of you guys. And some of you will say, well, that happened before all of this, and that's okay. And what a beautiful thing that is, that you've already done the work in the beginning of the month. So now, if you need to, you can not, I'm still going to encourage you to not ghost your business, but you don't have to be so hard on yourself about doing everything to try to make numbers, or try to make it the best end of the month, you know, whatever, because you've already done the work in the beginning. But I am going to ask you to stay present in your business, and I'm going to tell you what I think that could look like when you are in the midst of feeling like this, and with your customers maybe feeling like this.
I forgot to pause the TV.
Okay, go pause it and then get in bed. Oh my gosh. I'm going to tell you some things that I think will really be helpful, that you can do. And this is just a list that I thought of. This doesn't have to be what you do. But what I will say is, go back to the things that make you happy, that you do in your Scentsy journey. And how you can be a light to others. And I think that that's really important. This is not really super Scentsy related, but I got these little Dove chocolates because candy is kind of on sale at Target. So I got these little Dove chocolates. I'm going to put them in little baggies. Oh, my nose. I'm going to go get tissue. I'm going to put them in little baggies, and I'm going to put a little note that says, like, hope you survive this apocalypse. And me and my kids, see my nose. Me and my kids are going to go take them to our neighbors' houses. Because I want to be the light for others during this time. Because there are people who have been the light for me during this. And I know how badly I needed that, and they didn't even know it, right? So, maybe it's not 100% Scentsy related, but I'm asking myself, how can I do the same thing for my Scentsy business? How can I create that same type of joy that relates back to Scentsy to let my customers know, hey, I'm acknowledging that it's hard right now. And I think that it is important that we do acknowledge it, right? And I have acknowledged it. I've thrown up a couple funny memes, and I have flat out said, I need to laugh at it, because if I'm not laughing, I'm crying, like real talk. And my customers understand, because we have longevity together, that I am a social person, and that having this literal distance from people is hard on me. And so my customers know that, and I've expressed it to them very briefly. We talk about culture in our Scentsy journey, right? The culture that we have in our team pages, but then also the culture that we have in our VIPs and our groups and our pages and with our customers. And we want that to be a positive experience, but we also want to be authentic. And when things are going on and it's affecting you, and especially something like this where we know it's affecting everybody, it is safe to address it, and it is safe to be honest about it. And I think that that's super important, because being vulnerable is what will connect you. What I think that we should also be mindful of is acknowledging it, but then turn it into a positive the best you can. Okay, so I know that it's hard to think of a positive. I know it's hard to think of stuff. I've got a couple of things that I think would be really fun to do with your customers. But do your very best to make sure that you are not dwelling on it, and that you're not ghosting your customers, and that you're not ghosting your VIP, because you may be that only light on their feed, on their timeline. I know for me, Alex was just saying, like, she loves to be in her VIP group. I pretty much go straight to my VIP group, because that's the only place where I am not seeing constant bombard of COVID-19 stuff. And it's just something that I don't want to deal with right now. So I choose to go in my VIP group where we can be light and funny. Like, we all know everything that's going on. I don't need to continually bring it up. I don't need to keep talking about it. What I can do, what I do have control over, is my continued customer service to my customers, right? So, and in the midst of this, what we're recognizing is there is still plenty opportunity for you to sell Scentsy, right? To share Scentsy and people be interested in buying it. I'm not saying push it on people. I'm saying keep doing what you're doing. I'm continuing to post. 90% of my posts are still my normal everyday post. And I'm still talking about the things that I love, and I'm still making sales. And so, I think that we need to have a sense of normalcy, even if it doesn't feel normal, to just maintain the foundation of our business. So my first piece of advice with all of this would be if you're feeling like this, if you're feeling totally broken by what's going on, jumbled up, confused, hurt, whatever those feelings are, I'm with you. I understand. But when I took a step back and I had a moment of clarity, I was able to recognize that there were still things inside my four walls that I could control and that brought me happiness. And if Scentsy can be that for you, then dig deep into your business. Spend your time getting your systems in place. Spend time making a bunch of samples. So when all this starts to kind of fade a little bit and your customers start coming back out, you have stuff ready to go and you're ready to hit the ground running because you've prepared yourself. And those things can be really great tools to use. And in the moment, we talk about income producing activities, but right now those will be income producing activities. And I was just telling Charlotte yesterday, yes, continue being consistent in your business, but also recognize timing is important. And so if you are struggling, if you have tried, the things that you have done in the past aren't working right now, you recognize that a lot of your customers are struggling with income or, other things going on in their lives that might be taking their eyes off of your business and onto real world issues, then we can say timing has something to do with it. That doesn't mean we don't stay consistent. That doesn't mean we don't keep showing up. That doesn't mean we hang up our hat and say, oh, well, COVID-19's here, so let me know when it's over and I'll come back. No, we have to keep showing up, okay? We have to be consistent. Give your customers that normal. If they open up their Facebook, they know they'll still see your happy Scentsy post. And whether they can buy or not, that could be the light. That could be what keeps them coming back to you long after this is over. Because they're going to say, wow, my customer or my Scentsy person didn't give up. She's still working. Like, she's still being joyful. And I think we underestimate how much the world needs that right now. That's okay, Diane. No worries. That's exciting. See, super exciting. Yeah. And that is the opposite can happen, right? Where I'm saying try to be there for your customers. But man, sometimes your customers come through for you. And it's like, holy moly. Like, if that doesn't speak to how much a part of their life you've become because of a wax and warmer business, and if that doesn't do something for you, then you're missing the mark. Like, you're missing the point of all of this. Like, when we say this is a relationship business, this is where that relationship shines. And whether you think that you've established a good relationship with your customers or not, now you get to prove yourself right. However you feel, you can prove yourself right. Okay. And even if you just started Scentsy, now is the time to make a mark on your customers' lives, your new people. Make a mark and say, listen, like, I'm not just your Scentsy person. Like, I'm going to be the person who brings a little joy into your life. I'm going to send you a sample in the mail. I'm going to send you a thank you note. I'm going to, drop off some goodies at your door. Or, hey, I'm going to follow you. And when I see that you need some toilet paper, I'm going to go drop some off because you matter to me outside of this business. Even if it's not about a sale, even if it's not about hosting a party or joining or anything, I'm still going to be there. Dig deep into the things inside Scentsy that make you happy. Whatever that looks like, spend time doing that. Give yourself that freedom to say, okay, I'm going to make a bunch of samples right now because I really love to turn on some music and just jam out and do something that is like mindless. And I'm going to write down my ideas for how I'm going to get these samples out when the world kind of gets back to normal. I'm going to be brainstorming and figuring out my systems. I'm going to think of what my whiff boxes are going to look like for the next 6 months. I'm going to update my dream team list, and I'm going to be watching those people through this so I can reference it back when I do decide to reach out to them. There are just so many things that we could be doing. But in this moment, in these times where we still want to connect with our customers, being consistent on your VIP and on your personal page, not just about Scentsy, but real life stuff, super important. Because they're still looking at you saying, is this even affecting her? What's going on in her life? Like, you matter to your customers. They want to know, and they also want to know about Scentsy, whether they can buy or not. And then following up, how are you personally connecting with your customers? Now more than ever, I would say sending them a text message, asking how they're doing, and not even mentioning Scentsy would mean the world to a lot of your customers, even if they're doing just fine. Can you imagine if the last person who you bought something from, direct sale, whatever, your cashier at Target, I met this really sweet cashier yesterday at Target. She was the sweetest person ever. If she texted me today and was like, hey, it was so great to meet you yesterday. I just wanted to check in. How are you doing today? Like, your kid's okay? What's going on? That would mean everything to me today. So don't think for 1 minute that whether they ignore you, whether they say they're fine, don't think for 1 minute that that's not going to mean everything. Kind of that whole, like, do unto others what you'd want done to yourself, right? So what could you use right now? And then turn around and do that for others. And you may think you don't have an ounce of energy, an ounce of emotional strength to get up and do it. I get it. Last week, that was not my week to do that. So give yourself some time and then do it. Write it down now and then do it. Not for any other reason, but to be the light, right? Because the relationship matters. Your relationship with your customers matters, and it will hold so strong through this season of everybody's lives that when we do start to see our world come back to normal, your customers will not forget. Your people will not forget how you treated them, what you said, what you posted in this time later, right? So in 6 months, when you go to follow up with them and everything's kind of died down and, you know, they're going to say, oh my gosh, like they're going to look back through those text messages, or they're going to remember like, yeah, I still want to support this person because man, they were there for me. Like they held a text message conversation with me, asking how I was doing and offered to bring me toilet paper or sent me that really cute thing in the mail. You know, I mean, how simple would it be to create a little postcard on over, print it out on Avery, throw some glitter in it and just say, hey, like, come up with a funny saying or a joke or, you know, just, hey, thank you so much for being a part of my Scentsy business. Truly hope you're doing okay. Like, here's a little confetti to make your day, you know, like something so simple. You have no idea the impact it could have. And so I would say, dig into those things. Dig into your Scentsy business. Do not walk away from it, okay? COVID-19 did not take away our business. And I promise you, it may feel really slow right now, but there are people out there who are buying Scentsy because it makes them happy. And if you have those people in your life, you're not going to know unless you ask. No. You're not going to know unless you check in with them. You're not going to know unless you continually post. You're not going to know if you quit working your business during this time. Now is not the time to stop working your business. Now is the time to dig in more than ever. And you dig in even when you don't feel like it. Okay? Because last week when I was still feeling crappy, I was still scheduling posts. When I had a quiet moment, I was still posting pictures. It was the place that I could go back to that I said, okay, you know, like I'm not feeling happy right now, but I know Scentsy makes me happy and it makes other people happy. I need to continually work my business. It is part of my daily responsibility of what I need to do. And I just don't give myself an excuse or an out no matter what's going on. And it's not about making a sale. It's about me holding myself accountable to my business and to the people who contribute to my business. My customers, they deserve that much. And so do yours. So I just want to give you guys permission, and I want to be the person who says it's okay to not sell 1,000 PRV this month like you had expected. It's okay to not be paid at title like you had hoped. It's okay to not book a party next month. It's okay that your parties got canceled this month. That's all okay. Okay? I get it. We all get it. Like, we're all right there with you. What it's not okay to do is use this as an excuse to walk away from your business. That's not fair. It's not fair to you and all the work that you've put in. It's not fair to your customers and the support that they've poured into you. That's not fair. Take some time, but don't walk away from your business, okay? Find joy in your business. Find something that makes you happy. Y'all, we can still be here talking to each other. We can still do Zoom calls. Actually, Charlotte came up with a really great idea yesterday about doing a virtual happy hour. I love this idea. Okay. A virtual happy hour, and we can all get on Zoom and have our beverage of choice. Okay. And we can just chat. We can talk Scentsy if you want, but we can just chat. Okay. Virtual happy hour, sign me up. Okay. But in the midst of all of this, we need to be closer than ever, even though there's physical distance. And so, if anybody wants to start a Zoom call one day, if anybody wants to hop on live, if anybody needs to text somebody, like, that's what we're all here for. But do not walk away from your business. If you need ideas, we're here for that. If you need a pick-me-up, we're here for that. And your customers are watching, okay? The thing is that people are on social media now more than ever. More than ever. Everybody's home. Everybody's home. Whether they go to work, they still come home and they're still home all the time. Like, they can't go anywhere. So you literally have everybody's attention. How are you going to use it? How are you going to use it? Like, this may seem like a really like doomsday type of feeling, but if we're going to turn it on its head and make it a positive, your business, you can literally shine such a bright light on your business right now because you have everybody's attention. What's it going to look like? Are you that person who's posting negative things about the COVID-19, making fun of people, shaming people, spreading misinformation? Like, are you that person? Or are you posting kind of the funny memes, the lighthearted stuff, posting about being at home with your kids and like how they're eating everything and you've become the snack person and the yard duty and, the teacher and all these things? Like, what light are you shining on you, your brand, and your business? I want you to take that into consideration, because our social conduct and how we act on social media doesn't change when a virus hits and the world shuts down. Okay. Our rules of how we play this game that we've tried to establish doesn't change. No, they're not technically rules, but I just want you to be mindful that even during this, people are watching. People are really watching because they've got nothing better to do, and they will remember. They will remember what you say in the midst of chaos. So, yeah, be authentic. If you're feeling some sort of way, if you're feeling hurt or broken, I shared a post about it. I was very honest with how I'm feeling personally. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm not talking about things I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. And I'm definitely not a politician. So you won't hear me talk about on social media what my thoughts are about COVID-19. My thoughts is that it has changed my life and it has moved it inside out right now. All I know is what is happening and what's not happening inside these four walls. And I can only speak to that. I'm not going to talk about the virus on my social media because my opinion doesn't matter. And that's just a bunch of noise. But what I will talk about is how I'm still working my business and how my kids are at home now helping me work my business and how I'm spending more time with my kids, taking walks and playing games and fun things like that, cooking dinner with them. Like, I am choosing to shine a brighter spotlight on what I'm grateful for and what's happening. But just know it took me almost a week to get there. Okay? It took me almost a week to recognize that there are some things in here that are a blessing. And your blessing may just be that you have more time to pour into your Scentsy business. And that is a blessing because if you do that intentionally, it will pay off. 10 times over again will pay off, okay? So don't let these moments go and you be stuck in this feeling of uncertainty and letting go of your business and then want to come back in 3 months and pick up where you left off and you've ghosted everybody. That's not okay. We can't do that, okay? Hold tight. Hold on to any little thing you can and dig into your business, okay? But just know, I know that it's hard. I know that we're all dealing with stuff and it all looks different for people. But that's what we're here for. And we're going to set up that virtual happy hour and we're going to have some fun with it. I've got to go get my children down for quiet time. So I'm going to hop off. I hope.
I can go downstairs.
No. Please go in your room. I'll be there in a minute. No, please go in your room. I'll be there in a minute.
And then you could do this.
I will.
And then you could.
Maybe. Go. We will try to figure out a time and a day to do the virtual happy hour. I think that'd be super fun. If anybody needs a coaching call, obviously it doesn't have to be about Scentsy. I know both me and Alex coaching calls links are on our pages. And if you just need to talk to somebody, y'all just reach out, please. Just reach out, okay? We are here for you. We get it. We understand, and we love you all very much. I would love to see some ideas about how you guys are digging into your business, what you are doing in the midst of all of this, besides your normal everyday, like you may just be carrying on business like usual, but how are you using that extra time you may have because you're not working or whatever? Maybe you don't have extra time. My kids are home. I feel like it's very hard for me to have extra time right now. But I am sending out 3 different kinds of snail mail today, which doesn't feel like a lot, but because I'm choosing not to like bombard my customers with follow-ups, I'm doing it in a little bit more of a discreet way. So just share what you're doing, what you're thinking about. Maybe you're planning out your whip boxes. Share those with us. And just stay well, okay? And we will get through this together, okay? Hashtag better together for sure. So I love you all. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable with you today. And I hope that this brings relief and some ideas and a little bit of comfort, okay? So love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys.